So when I see this Alexi Kolosov rumor yesterday, BelarusHockey.com, I am not here to
You tell me that's not a credible source?
I have no idea how legitimate this is.
Yeah.
It is a rumor out of Belarus/Russia that Alexei Kolosov, he's a little homesick. He's having trouble adjusting to the North American lifestyle, maybe the North American game, even though like half the KHL plays in North American sized rinks
Same
at this
rink.
point.
Yeah,
like
okay.
there are some, there's like, it varies.
Yeah.
The KHL is apparently like baseball. Like, yeah, there's some Olympic size, there's some NHL size, and there's just some other shit.
And there's other stuff.
But like, I don't think that's what it is. But goddamn, we have this guy coming over, and it was one of the first, because we're all worried about Michcov, right? And it's okay, we got Fedotov over, Kolosov's coming too, everything's peachy.
You're getting good rumors about Michcov, so you're like,
things are looking up.
Yeah.
And now maybe the top goalie prospect in the organization, there's a possibility, and again, no idea what's true and what isn't. It's just a rumor we saw. I have some tweets I'll read in a minute from some other of the journalists that cover this team, but goddamn, can't we ever catch a break?
Is it wrong that I'm kind of numb to this right now? Like, like until something actually happens, right? But like, I expect there to be goalie issues. I just expect it. Like, no matter what, whatever the circumstances. So now this doesn't really, it didn't shock me, but again, I don't know, we don't know the sourcing. So I'm going to wait until I get completely crazy.
So the rumor comes out, Kolosov is thinking about returning to the KHL. Maybe he just doesn't like living here. Maybe there's more at play in terms of his path to the NHL. But the most recent updates I've seen, first from Jordan Hall of NBC Sports Philly, I'm hearing Flyers are not aware of anything regarding Alexei Kolosov going back to KHL. The belief is he was homesick, and the hope is he'll be okay. Kolosov, 22, is under contract and played in KHL on loan this season. He joined Phantoms in April. And then Kevin Kurz of The Athletic. Flyers don't know a whole lot about this at this point. I'm told from a team source. Certainly doesn't sound like anything has been decided yet. He also has 2 years left on his entry-level deal, so he can't technically just bolt for the KHL. Now, this is the part that this is what makes me nervous. Yeah. It's like, well, we have him, and it's
he's here.
I don't know what goes on in Russia, but we're seeing now with like the IHF comes down with these sanctions because of the how the Fedotov situation played out.
Right.
And it seems like the Russian Hockey Federation is going, we don't give a shit. Like, yeah, technically Kolosov can't go back and play for the KHL because he's under contract with the Flyers. If he were to just get on a plane and go home,
what are they going to do?
What, we going to send SEAL Team 6 in to kidnap him and bring him back? What's the? He's going to go play. You can't play for them. Yes, I can. We just saw this happen. Fedotov had a contract with the Flyers, and they said, we don't care.
They're going to do whatever they want.
They're going to do whatever they want.
They're going to do whatever they want. That's why though, it's just apropos that this would happen to a Flyers goalie. And he's 22, he's young, he didn't get much playing time with the Phantoms. Maybe that factored in, but again, we don't know all the deals.
That's, I think, like when I think the homesick stuff, listen, 22 years old.
Yeah.
He's got a chance to pursue his dream playing in the NHL. The NHL is the best league in the world. It's probably at least on the bucket list. Even if you're like, I want to spend I would like to get a shot,
Sure.
Yeah. But he's got to be looking at this like, I'm still only 22. Can always come back.
Yeah.
And that's, who's to say how that would play out, but the Flyers would retain his rights, I assume. That's how it's worked with a lot of guys that have just kind of been like, I'm heading back.
And then they pretty much negate the contract,
You look at his path to the NHL, and I think this might play a part of it. Sam Ersson had his contract extended before last season. He's got a couple more years left. Real good deal, actually, considering what they're going to probably ask from him over the next couple of years. And then they sign Ivan Fedotov to this extension. Like, they got, 2-3 games out of him on his, was supposed to be like a 2-year deal. It ends up being a 1-year deal, and then they have to extend him if they want to keep him because he'd be a UFA. But Kolosov's sitting there like, when do I get to play?
Think this might be a tactic?
I think it could be a combination of, I'm homesick. I want to go home. Listen, if I was 22 and I have dreams of making it in this business, but if you told me you can go be Liam McHugh for the KHL and I had to uproot my whole life and do that, I probably wouldn't.
No, for sure. I think there's definitely that.
I don't know. And the NHL is the big thing, but I got to ride the bus in the AHL. This isn't the dream.
Living in Allentown.
Yeah, Allentown. Yeah, if I'm going to be in my high rise in Center City living with Joel Farabee, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be riding the bus in Allentown,
I mean, maybe if he just has some playing time, like let's just, we were talking about this before, but like Cal Peterson was the goalie, going through the playoffs, which, probably the better
he's
goalie.
The veteran.
Exactly.
It is, and we have no idea. Like Kolosov, I think there's a lot of maybe misconstruing how good he was in the KHL. His numbers are fine.
Yeah.
But you look at where he ranks in terms of like goals against, save percentage. He's 22 playing in maybe the second best league in the world. He's awesome for his age. He hasn't stood out of, like he had like a 907 last year. He's not at the 940, nobody beats me. He's just like, oh, for 22, this is awesome. It's a lot like the Carter Hart projection. Like, oh, there's 22, he's in the NHL and he's pretty freaking good. Like, okay. There's a lot of that, like, well, in a few years when he's in his prime, he'll be awesome. But he is coming over, at least with the thought of, like, I'm pursuing my NHL dream, and now the path is a little blocked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we actually have like a kind of like a goalie logjam right now, which is kind of, self-inflicted, but we do.
It's funny because we have this goalie logjam. Like, remember during the season when we're all kind of complaining about the 11-7 that they're going with, and they have 7 defensemen. And it's like, well, for one reason or another, either they're playing well or they're under like we have to play them. Like, it was a good group.
Yeah.
We have no idea what this goalie group is. Not a freaking clue.
Oh, full wild card.
Like,
yeah.
Airson, I am projecting, I think he's good, and given like a normal schedule, we will actually find out what he is. Fedotov, he's 27, 28. Like, we gotta know. But we signed him, we went through all this, so he's here. And now we have this young guy who we think we have plenty of time with, but Russian players always have that option.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago, it's not quite the same anymore, but it's even the reason, Michcov fell in the draft. You're never 100% that these guys are going to be like,
no,
yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, no, it's very unpredictable with them. I just hope they had a conversation beforehand. And I feel like they are having conversations. Like the Flyers are saying they don't even know what's going on right now. So, this is a crazy report. So have a conversation. Let's see what's going on first.
I did reach out to some people in the organization. Hopefully we're going to be able to have somebody in the front office on next week. Today we could not make happen. Obviously we could, if I'm not bothering Charlie. Listen, if this was Michcov, I'm saying I don't care about your roaming charges.
Yeah,
I'm
let
calling
Charlie
you.
relax.
But since it's like the number 3 goalie at best, I'm going to let him enjoy his.
Yeah.
Listen, Jordan Hall and Kevin Kurtz, I'm fine just reading their tweets. Our resident journalist, however, on vacation, he'll be back Monday, and I'm sure we can have a little bit more information. But I think what makes people nervous, because Cole, listen, he's a really good prospect, and we have this guy now in the AHL. He's a guy coming that we think can be really good, maybe a number 1 for this team one day.
Yeah.
But I think the real consternation is like, what does this mean for Michcov? Can they just pull this shit with Michcov?
Only thing that
where
went through
he's
my
like,
mind.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're worried about.
It's Russia. It's unpredictable. I mean, that's the only thing that really went through my mind. I don't even know if this Kolosov is going to turn out to be a good goalie.
It's a goalie.
So we don't even know.
Yeah.
But Michcov, I want over here. That kind of our franchise really depends on this, and that just gives me red flags for anything Russian, which is, normal.
Yeah.
We all silly like the mayor.